I sat down exclusively with the CEO of Google Cloud earlier this morning, Thomas Kurian. He's here in New York City to speak at the National Retail Federation's annual Big Show. Cloud companies like Google and Microsoft making their pitch to retailers who are reluctant to give their cloud business to their biggest competitor, Amazon. Kurian spoke about market share within the cloud. I asked him whether Google can climb to #1 or 2 in cloud in the next 5 years. Take a listen.
We're a very strong start to winning large customers in a number of other industries, not just retail, but financial services, telecommunications, etc. Just as an example, at retail, 7 of the 10 largest retailers in the world are customers of Google Cloud. And so we're very confident in the progress we're making.
Is being #1 or #2 a goal?
Of course.
How should that be measured? Is that just because everybody seems to measure what gets defined as cloud revenue a little bit differently, especially legacy players like your IBMs, like your Oracles, where you used to be. How do you think investors should be keeping score?
We're very early in this cloud transformation. What cloud will look like 5 years from now is not what cloud looks like today, and what cloud looks like today is not the way it looked like 10 years ago. Just as an example, if you went back to 2000, 2005, and you asked people what's cloud, they would say, well, it doesn't exist. But it did exist. It was called software as a service. Salesforce, Intuit, there were a number of companies there. 2006 to 2015, 16 was really about infrastructure. Put your stuff in my data center, I can run it cheaper for you.
Right.
But it's mostly about efficiency, cost optimization. Where we see cloud going in the future is really about differentiated capability. How do you help a retailer reach customers better? How do you help a marketer market better? And delivering unique solutions for different industries. We see that as a big future for cloud, and we see Google having a number of advantages because we understand consumers, and we can use our AI and machine learning advantages there to deliver solutions others couldn't.
I also asked Kurian about leadership change at Google, particularly Larry Page stepping back from a CEO role and an operating role at the company. Also, what Sundar Pichai's expanded role at the company means for cloud.
Sundar has been our executive CEO in charge. Ruth Porat, as you know, has been CEO of both Alphabet and Google. It was a natural evolution of our organization. Larry and Sergey continue to be involved as technical advisors to us, and they've got great product ideas that they share with us.
What about customers who might be wondering about the core high-level commitment to becoming a true enterprise organization? Does that intensify with this move, or is it totally unrelated? I mean, surely you must have been asking these questions a little more than a year ago when you were figuring out whether this is a place where you wanted to land.
I would not have joined Google if there was not a deep-seated commitment all the way from the top of the organization to being a great enterprise company. And we've made a lot of steps this last year, and we continue to remain focused on that going forward.
Finally, we talked data, specifically concerns over how companies like Google utilize it and share it. If they get the cloud data, are they going to use it to target advertising? Take a listen to Kurian's answer.
Our goal is to allow customers to use their data securely, using our technology to analyze the data to become more efficient as retailers, and trusting that Google will not use their data in any way.
And I guess that's then a similar question. With Google, some people worry that Google will use the cloud data and mingle it in a way to target advertising eventually to consumers. What's your message to people who are concerned about that, specifically when it comes to things like health?
So very specifically, when you put data in a cloud, your data is your data. Google provides you technology to understand that data and use it in new ways. We absolutely do not use it for any other purpose than delivering you that capability. And not only that, we commit to that contractually. It's written in our contract.
Guys, I also asked him what happens to margins when he's scaling up the sales force the way that he is. He plans to triple it within the next couple of years. Amazon, Andy Jassy also told me they're investing heavily in Salesforce. You can bet Microsoft is too. So does that mean margins get squeezed as they look for better times down the road when somebody gets pushed out? He says they are investing for the long term.
So it sounds like yes, perhaps they do get squeezed. I just think it's really interesting, though, that he's that you sat down with him at this NRF conference, which I think is very telling in of itself, right? At a time where so many retailers are kind of skeptical about the other big player in cloud, Amazon. It seems like it is an opportunity for a company like Google to come in and make its presence known there.
Yeah, Satya Nadella was speaking last night at NRF, making a similar pitch. And I talked to Thomas also about what he thinks is going to matter over the next few years as he tries to gain share. He's talking about big customer wins that he can trumpet. He thinks that's really what's going to move the needle. So look for, more of those badges to come up. That's the enterprise playbook, is like, look who we got, look what we did for them. They're a big player. You ought to do it too. Microsoft right now is still riding high post-Jedi, but there's more to come.
I mean, cutthroat pricing is nothing new, and neither is high-profile customer wins.
Yeah.
So probably good news for the enterprise and by extension to consumers,
Could well be.